So now we're going to continue and we're going to declare a couple other variables that we'll use. So if we want to declare a double, instead of saying int, we would write the word double and then I'd give it a name. So you might store something that would be a double value or a number that could be a decimal might be the height of a person. So we'd say double height. And then we're going to initialize it to a value and I'm going to initialize it to 0. Well, what other types of information might we know? Well, perhaps there's the middle initial. A middle initial would be one single character, so we need to make a character. Now, we could give the variable name a middle initial, but we want to be aware of form here. Remember, developing good habits now make us a good programmer down the line, and because a lot of programming now is using other people's pre-existing code, by following certain conventions, it makes it a lot easier for us to share code and improve our own skills. So if I want to make my variable name middle initial, two things I have to remember. One is all variable names must start with a small case letter. So when I want to have my character called middle initial, I have to start it with a small m. Now, if it's a compound word, meaning there's more than one word, if a variable name requires more than one word, we capitalize the first letter of all other words. So in this case, we want the variable name to middle initial. I have to say initial. So notice now, I know this is a variable because it's a small case, and also because the secondary letter is capitalized. Now there are other things that follow the same naming convention, but it's key not to capitalize these. And we're going to set this equal to, and so my middle name is James, so I'm going to set my middle initial to J. When you declare or initialize a character, you need to put all characters inside single quotes. That tells the compiler that this is a character. Finally, we want to have the name of the person in our program. So a name would be a word, so I'd call that a string. So I'm going to type in string. Notice the capital S, meaning that it's a reference variable. And so now I'm going to declare a string and I'm going to call it name. When we initialize this, we want to give it my name, Paul. So when you initialize a string or whenever you assign a string a value, we have to surround it in quotations. That is, the double quotes is how Java knows that this is a string. So anytime we assign a string a value, it must be enclosed in double quotes. Anytime we assign a character a value, it must be enclosed in single quotes. So now we've declared and initialized a couple variables, and it's important to know that we only ever declare variables at the top of a program. But let's say I wanted to change a variable. We can perform what's called an assignment statement. In the next video, we're going to look at how to write an assignment statement to change the value in any of these variables.